Hi guys, welcome to another video, and in this video we're going to have a look at the gear that I use, starting with the stills, camera and lens bag. There will be a follow-up video looking at the lighting kit as well, but for now we're going to look at this bag here, which holds all the cameras and lenses that I use. Now, this bag is a Think Tank Airport International version 2. It's one of their rollers and it's been great. I've run this thing for 6 or 7 years now. And you just can't kill it. It just keeps on rolling. Great bag, holds a ton. Of course, it gets heavy when it's loaded with a DSLR kit. To be fair, if you load it with multiple bodies, multiple lenses of any kind of kit, mirrorless as well, it's going to get heavy. So it's great that it's a roller. So looking at this bag, I have some stuff in the front pouch here, starting with the Joby, that's not what it's called, the Joby Gorilla Pod, and that's for the M3 for behind the scenes. By the way, the M3 is what we're recording this on now, and normally it would live inside this bag, but using it to shoot the video. We have some Peak Design slide straps, I believe. Yep, there's 2 in here. It's rare that I run 2 bodies when I'm shooting, but now and again I will. A umbrella, for obvious reasons. Not the photographic kind, that's the kind that keeps your hair dry. Not a problem for me. And we have some mittens. Now, also, in this front pocket here, I have pens, pencils, some lens cloths, a torch, so I can actually look inside the bag when I'm working at a dark event in a dark venue, just to see where things are. Some business cards, a notebook which holds details of camera and lens micro adjustment or calibration settings, some lighting diagrams, notes that I've made over the years, they live in there, and also a couple of memory pouches from Think Tank as well. These are tethered to the inside of the bag so they don't go missing. I can unclip these, clip them to the belt if I want to keep them on my person. My cameras that I use compact flash cards. I've got other cameras that use SD cards as well, but primarily compact flash. So I have a bunch of these. These are full, and I have like 20 odd compact flash cards, so I can use them in rotation. So I've got a backup by rotating the cards through. Plus, when you're working an event or wedding, you tend to change cards at each stage of the day. Bridal prep, ceremony, reception, and so on and so forth. Less risk of losing everything, especially with single card bodies. So they are full of compact flash cards. Labels up, SanDisk labels up, I know they're good to go. Labels facing down, I know it's got images on there. Now, pop those all back in, and then we'll get to the good stuff. Okay, the lenses and the cameras. Close that up. So, what we'll do now, we'll have a look inside the bag at the cameras and the lenses that I use. Okay, so looking inside the bag. So wrap this thing open. These bags are great because they're durable, they last. You can stick a label in there with business cards so you know what bag it is, what kit is in the bag. Handles are really tough. It's got a TSA approved lock on it as well, with locking cables, which is handy if you need to lock it to a table or a pole. On the front pockets I've got things like multi-tools, C47s, otherwise known as clothes pegs, spare batteries for the light meter, lens cloths, a card reader so I can actually plug in a compact flash card, take the JPEG off onto my phone or a tablet, and then post it online on social media. None of my cameras have Wi-Fi, well, with the exception of the M3, but I don't like using that for stills. So that's handy there. Now, the main kit, okay, we'll start with the good stuff with the camera bodies. I want to work with 2 Canon 5D Mark IIs. Body A, exactly the same with a Canon grip on there. Place that down. And body B as well. They've both seen a lot of use. Body A's seen more use. It's probably going to be due a shutter change at some point once it goes in for a service. No doubt Canon will recommend that. But they've both been great cameras, rock solid. I prefer having 2 of the same cameras to work with, so if one does fail, you grab the other one. It's exactly the same layout, image quality, color, all that good stuff. And they've been great. No bells and whistles, so to speak. There's no Wi-Fi, they don't have dual card slots, nothing fancy like on the more modern cameras, but they just work, absolute workhorses. Also, in here is my daily carry camera, which is my Fuji X100. Love this little thing, and I will run this on jobs, weddings and events, because it can be clipped to my belt and it's really, really quiet. People know you're around when you take a shot with a 5D. They can't hear you when you run that. So this is the original X100 in there that uses SD cards. We also have, starting with the lenses, we'll start here. This is the Canon 100 f2.8 LIS macro. Great for detail shots, ring shots, portraits, and it doubles up as a great studio lens as well. So multi-purpose. Make sure you build a kit that has things within it that are multi-use, multi-purpose, that overlap, that give you a backup option as well. Next lens is my favorite lens, or the Canon f1.4L version 2 35mm. This replaced the 35 version 2, the 35 f2 that I had. I had 2 copies of that. Great lens, by the way, but this is in another league. It's one stop faster, being f1.4 rather than f2, and it's been great. Love this lens. Gets used a lot for weddings and events, behind the scenes shots as well. It's awesome. It's been amazing so far. Next up is the Canon 85 f1.8 USM. This is my second copy of this lens. The other one died. I actually suspect that someone messed with it during an event or wedding, dropped it, and then, oh crap, put it in the bag because the focus just suddenly went wacky on it. And I just get a feeling that it had been dropped, and I know I didn't do it. Anyway, there it is, the 85 1.8. I have the 50 1.8 version 2, the plastic fantastic, the nifty 50. Doesn't really see a lot of use these days, this lens. I don't think it's actually been on one of the cameras for about 12 months, but still it's there as a backup, or if 50mm is needed. Oops, won't go to that one yet. We'll go for the 24 to 105. Great lens, very, very flexible, 24mm wide on full frame. Great for group shots, great for receptions, first dance, cake cuts. We do as well, the photographer that I work with also have an ultra wide now, which is a Tamron ultra wide, which is great. He's picked that up, I picked the macro up, so we're sharing kit that way. If he needs a macro, he can take that. If I need an ultra wide, I can take the Tamron. But this has been a great lens. It's image stabilized, great image quality, really nice rendering and color on this actually. This has seen a lot of use in the studio as well, before I built the prime kit up. Next up is, pop that down there, the 70 to 200 version 1 f2.8 LIS. Long names. This is a used lens. Most of my lenses have been purchased used, bar the 35, and this has been great. The one thing that this lens does not like, and I don't know whether the version 2 is any better at this or not, but won't be finding that out, is it hates backlights. If you shoot into white seamless at the studio, if you shoot into a backlit situation, say a bride coming into the church from outside and it's a bright sunny day, contrast dies and it just hunts like a good one. It does not like it, but once you know what your kit will and won't do, you're fine. There's the lens hood for the 24-105. Okay, we have as well a rocket blower. Whoa, that's taking off. A Sekonic L358 light meter. These are really not valued these days by people, but they're a great tool for consistency in your work. Use this a lot in the studio. Tend not to use it with available light that much, but now and again I will do. Great. There we go. There's also a head torch in here. A lot of venues are really dark and you need to be making sure you've got all your kit, finding some kit in your bag and not leaving anything behind. So this is really handy. And you may need to get through a car park that's really dark as well. So a head torch is handy there. This holds sync cables, which rarely get used these days. And it has a spare compact flash card in there as a, oh crap, I need a card. There we go. A Peak Design Capture Pro version 2, and this is what clips onto the belt and holds the X100 at weddings and events. I've got the Pro pad as well, so I can actually rig up one of the 5Ds on there also. Stops it digging in. I have a X-Rite color checker passport for making color profiles for correct color. I also have a color calibrator, a color monkey display as well, a bungee, a variable ND filter, and this will actually only fit the 50, so it doesn't see a lot of use these days. Used that for video when I ran a podcast back in the day. And I have batteries in think tank pouches here, multiple spare batteries. I have 2 in each camera, main camera, the 5D Mark IIs in the grip, and I have 2 spares for each camera as well as some spares for the M3 and the Fuji mixed in. Oh, they're there. It's rare that you will run out completely, to be honest with you. The batteries are really good on the 5Ds. I also have here a 4 terabytes Western Digital passport, and this is for backups. I have drives at the studio, drives at home, running on a RAID system for backup, off-site backup as well. But this is a backup, an extra safety backup, if you will. It gets wiped at the end of a year, but just an extra catch me, keep things safe. Plus, if I'm working on location, I've got the laptop with me, I can also back up to this and rotate the cards and keep the data on the cards as well. So that's handy. There we go. In here I also carry wireless triggers, Pixapro ST3 and the Godox XT32. One's a backup essentially at that point, because if I rock up to a studio or a location where I'm not using my lights, I need some form of trigger to be able to cable in, and there's a receiver that I can use. I can rig that up to another studio light if needs be. And there is also Sanyo Eneloos, I believe now they're Panasonic, rechargeable batteries, which are for the triggers. And last but not least is the Arctic Butterfly, and this is for sensor cleaning. So it's a static brush that will lift dust off the sensor. And that's pretty much it. Holds a ton of stuff, gets really heavy. Wedding that I shot over in Nottingham, for example, was all in one venue, a nice old hotel. Problem with that was no lifts, all stairs. So this was a pain in the butt to move around, but price of all the heavy kit really. So coming up in the next video will be a look at the lighting kit, which will look at the location lighting kit, plus also the studio lighting kit as well. And that will be dropping in a couple of days' time. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below, and don't forget to share this if it's helped, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.